Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm a smidge late. Can you hear my cat already? Buzz, buzz. Shh. She's been extra sucky lately. But hello, hello, hello. Feel free to leave me a hi. I'm sorry I'm like a few minutes late there. I really didn't plan that well, but that's okay. Okay. So I don't know what we're gonna do today. I was working on, this is like little space girl goddessy thing. I gave her boobs, but then I'm like, why'd you give her those? Because you never do. And now it looks weird. But yeah, so how was everybody's day? I don't know what we're gonna do. I kind of just want to chill and draw. I don't know if that's what you guys want to do, or if you have some plans. I was thinking we could do some like, we could learn how to do animation, or I mean, it would be very basic animation, but we could do that. It's really kind of up to you guys, but I think I don't know what I'm gonna do. Honestly, actually, I don't know. I thought too we could go through like and find maybe a like, I don't know, draw this in your own style that we could do. I mean, we got options. I could also do like, lineless, or we could maybe look at how like shapes, how I draw with shapes, that kind of stuff. Let's see. Hey Timmy, how are you doing? Animation? We can do that. I don't know a lot about it. Well, actually, that's not true. I used to animate a lot with, that's something else. I used to animate a lot when I did like pixel art and stuff, and it's been a very long time. What should we animate? This would actually be cute to animate. This is a like Pokemon. We could do something like that. Let's draw a duck. Let's start with a duck, and then we'll kind of go from there. Because I can show you, we can do lineless style with the duck, and I can animate. All kind of in the same vein. What kind of a duck do I want to do? I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. My gosh. She's unreal. Hi. You're not coming up here. All right, come on. Come on. You have to stay over here, though, and be good. I've already asked you to do more than you're capable of. Okay. I'm just going to use my own thing here, but you could also use inking studio pen. My Pinkee line is just, it's free with my newsletter. Everybody can see your bum. We'll kind of go from there. I think I want to do lineless. So I think the best way to do animation is probably to kind of start simple. Okay. I'm sorry. No. Or yeah. Okay. Yeah. You just go, you just do whatever you want to do. The joy of cats. I'm just going to move that back because she's being a monster. Oh. You're lucky I love you so much. Yes, you are. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, she knocked it and it just now is like, what in the world? Yeah, go behind me. I don't know what she's doing. I'm so sorry. Okay, so if we create a duck, we can start simple and kind of go from there. So again, layers are going to be your friend. And I think I'm just going to do like a really rough kind of, I'm going to do duck sitting to begin with. So just a rough oval shape. And then I'm going to do my, nope, I don't like that. Kind of a head. I don't like that. See? Layers are your friends. I'm going to have to fix. I can already tell. I need to warp it a little bit. Not probably good enough. Whoops. That's right, they're not joint. So that's like the base of my duck. A lot of times when I'm doing lineless, I'll just kind of make blobs of things and kind of go from there. But I think you can see what I'm kind of trying to do here. So like body, neck and head, that kind of thing. And then I'm gonna do a new layer. I'm gonna do a clipping mask. And I'm going to get myself some green because I want this to be a little mallard. That, and I don't know why I give little, I don't know why I do like loops because I know I'm going to fill them in. I think I just like doing them. And I need to clean this up a little bit. What am I using here? Oh, look at that. I was going to say when you're using an eraser, you want to kind of use the same one that you already did. I can already tell that I'm not going to like this because I can already see all of my little mistakes. See all those little, because I didn't do what I wanted to do. So that's okay. This is just a quick, kind of easy, you know, thing. So we've got our duck. I don't like the placement of this duck. I don't want its head a little bit more this way. Maybe what I'll do is I'll warp a little bit. I am fully considering this as a, like, essentially my sketch. Maybe take it back to the drawing board, literally. I need to, like, move this around because it's different. I'm going to give him a beak. And a couple of eyeballs. How big do I want these? I kind of want just like, do I want up and downy, like little, or do I want actual eyeballs? Like that, like that. I think that works. Woo. I don't know which puppy that was, but that was a big sneeze. They have had a big day today. We just got back from the, well, I didn't just, we went to the dog training this morning. Well, early afternoon, I guess. And they were both really, really good. I was quite surprised. And it was great. I want more like this. Over this way. Kind of like he's looking. So they both did really, really well. I take both of them now. But actually, that just reminds me I have to remember to pay her. so that she will take us back. And yeah. And I go flip. And I don't know why, but I want to kind of make this more complicated than it needs to be. It literally was like, make it simple, guys. Here I am, like, going weird. Okay, I'm just going to erase this nose. It's no longer what I thought we were going to be. Let's just do another one. There we go. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted the whole time. I'm going to do some cheeks. And go from there. Hey, Vicky! We're drawing a quick little duck and then we're going to do some animation. Lurking. Oh, right. You already told me that. Sorry. We already chatted. That's right. Well, enjoy your lurk and have fun with your friends. That was exciting. I'm sorry. Whoa. I don't know what my other cat's doing upstairs, but she literally, like, lost it. And all you heard was, like, I don't know if you heard it on the thing. It was like rumble, 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 rumble. And the dogs just went nuts. Like, what is going on? Oof. All kinds of excitement going on around here today. I'm gonna leave it. It's okay, babe. It's just the kitty cats. I kind of want these cheekers to be bigger. Am I upset that it goes off? Kinda not, actually. I like that. Move this even more so up. Okay. I don't know if that's easy. I don't know if that's... We'll make them smaller. I want it to be an easy kind of thing. And then maybe we will go even faster. Uniform. I'm just making mine a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And this is going to be like this is like phase 1. This is our kind of our set spot where we are, where we're going to be, where we're going to return to. And then what you want to do is create a new duplicate. I'm going to get rid of the old one. And the things that you want to adjust is what you're going to essentially keep on different layers. I do it just for ease, but here, I'm just going to erase part of the eye. I wanted this to look more like he was blinking, but he just looks like he's judging someone. I'm also okay with that. A little bit. So you essentially have, right? And then we're going to duplicate again. And the way it kind of works is that each layer is going to be its own frame. So I'm going to do a little bit smaller. And you can do this however you like. If you want, you can even do like a big SERP at the top, like at the bottom, and don't do it in a weird, menacing kind of a way that I'm doing it. The main thing is you want them to be fairly even, unless you want them to wink. Although, if I was the one winking, it would still be pretty even. Okay. So I'm just going to duplicate our base and kind of keep it below. I'm going to flatten the rest though. Flatten. flatten. And then, so what we want is the same kind of motion frontwards and backwards, so that it looks like it is like an open, close, and then it's like a loop. So what we're going to do is the second one that we did, where the eyes are just a little bit, well, in the middle, essentially. We're just going to take that, duplicate it, and move it above. So then we've got a couple. That's essentially what it's going to look like, and then it'll start over again. Okay. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to duplicate it, just because I want to keep that first layer, but I know I have to get rid of it to do that. So then we're going to go, I'll maybe give everybody a moment here. I'm so sorry if you can hear this cat. My gosh, she's nuts today. Actually, she's been nuts for a while. But lately, she's been extra. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. If anyone has any questions too, just let me know. We have our 4 layers. And no, how do I do it? I gotta remember. Not add, it is share. Share layers. I feel like it's just an animated GIF. Yeah, that's what it is. I can't remember. So you just go the wrench, and then you're going to share, and you're going to do an animated GIF. And you can see now that he's just rapidly blinking. So frames per second, it'll speed up if you go more, and it'll slow down if you do less. So we actually did, so that's 1 per second. So we might want it a little bit less. The only thing I'll say with this is, unless there's a way that I don't know about, you can't actually like change the speed of 1 frame. So I know, like, maybe I can. I don't know. But I don't know how. Well, I can in some ways, by kind of manipulating the layers, but I have no way of changing how fast it is per frame or per layer. So I used to use Animation Shop actually, and you could set each layer to be its own. So a lot of times what I'll do is the base layer, I will just duplicate it, so then it's sitting there and it's at least, in this case, it'll be 3 times slower than the rest. So then we just share as an animated GIF again, and you can see we pull it down. We don't want to go that far. We know that we have 4 layers, 4 base layers, so we really don't want to go any slower than that. Well, I mean, I never know, I guess. In our case, we don't, because we don't want it to look super unnatural. We could go like 7, and I think it would probably look fine even. Maybe even 6. It depends on what you're going for, right? You don't want super, unless that's what you want. If you want it to be like boom, 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 then that, you're gonna go however it is that you want to go. And then what we can do is, once we've gotten to that stage, you can then change it so that you can make it a little bit more, like add more to it, right? So I'm going to go back to my base here. And I'm actually going to just get rid of these things, because if you do, so here, actually, I'll show you. If you group them, if you group those and then do an animated GIF, you get the same effect. So each group acts as an individual frame. So we're going to kind of get a little bit more advanced here. So before it was just one layer was 1 frame. Now we're going to turn it into 1 group is 1 frame. So in this 1 frame, they could be doing multiple things. Okay, So, for example, I'm going to just merge this down actually. In this one, and in this case, we could do a little bit of a warp. We could move the head down slightly. I'm in the wrong one. Am I in the wrong one? No. I can just see both. So we're just going to move the head down slightly. But I also don't really want it to lose its... There we go. Okay. Delete. So then now we've got this one that's normal, and then this one that's like, and he's kind of moved his head down a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. It's very weird. And you can see, like, it looks weird because his head's moving, but his eyes are not. So then we can go back, and really the whole point, or the whole key of, like, doing this is that you're going to make small changes and then double check and probably lower. Even if you want this to be fast, so even if I wanted this to be 29, you're still going to start lower because you want to be able to see, especially once you get doing a lot of different layers and a lot of different frames, you're going to want to see where the error is. So if you're doing here like 1 frame per second or 0.1 frame per second, it's going to be really, really long before it goes to the next one. I mean, that's a little bit too much. I would say 1 frame because then you can count it. So, you know, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But if there was multiple, then we would still know like 1, 2, 3, and then you know which frame is messing up whatever it is that you want it to do. Does that make sense? Any questions? Any concerns? Cat knocked my microphone, so I hope that you guys heard all of that. I'm assuming we're good. So then you can just continue on. So usually you're going to want to move or work off of the last layer you did. So if this was the first one, then we're going to go second, and we're going to duplicate the second one and work off of it. I'm going to just kind of erase those. So again, we might want to lower the head even more. Like maybe he gets even more exasperated with us. And then we do this. And then maybe we also get rid of more of the eyes. So we're kind of building on that original principle. We're just going, we're just kind of like taking it a little bit further. Okay. I have no idea what she's barking about. You're okay, baby. Just because your sister barks doesn't mean that you have to be scared. Yeah. Rowan has a hard time kind of not knowing what to do when her sister barks, because Ray will bark at everything now, and Ro is starting to get her confidence, so she doesn't quite know what she should bark at and what she shouldn't. So when Ray barks, Ro thinks, like, what do I do? Yeah, don't ya? Apparently she thinks what she should do is get right in my face. Baby. That's a good girl. Sorry, I'm getting puppy hugs. This happens every stream, doesn't it? Yeah, you guys bark, and then you hug me to make up for the barks, and then people don't get to see any drawing, and we don't learn anything. I'm so sorry, guys. I still would rather get puppy hugs. You gonna show your nose? Nose over here? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, puppy nose. There you go, guys. Alright. You gotta get down, babe. Down you go. Okay. See, this duck is probably very unimpressed. So I'm going to do this now. So now we have three. Oh, I didn't show them. We have to show each layer. So now we have 3 frames. So again, I'm going to move it down to 3 frames per second, and that should be, and you can see like original, extra spicy. Okay? So then this, we do the exact same thing that we did before. We're just going to do the middle one, duplicate it, because we want it to have a smooth transition back, especially if you're thinking of doing this for like Instagram or something like that, and you want to do a little GIF or GIF, however you say it. I say it GIF because the person who created it says GIF, so I figure if they created it, they should know. Put it back to 3 so that we can just double check where we are. So then we know 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I can actually maybe even just a little bit more. No, that's not what I want. I want 1 per second. Okay. So then we can start. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Does that make sense? And then essentially it'll just cycle through. Especially if you're going to do like a GIF or something like that you want on Instagram, like you want it to be able to have that continual loop. So something like this is really what's going to give you that. I don't know why he's got to look so spicy though. But there he is. Anyone have any questions? Can you hear me at all? Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this one because I'm going to go a little bit further. We're not quite done with the overall animation that I want to do. So now at this point, I want to duplicate this last layer because again, we always kind of want to work off of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw some legs. And I'm going to do a full length leg. Like what I would if he was standing and he was just chilling, you know? Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to go like that. And then I always end up having to like, I draw my outline and then I fill it in whenever I'm doing lineless, and then I end up always like making it look better after the fact. I don't care too much about up here because it's going to be hidden by the duck. But I need its little footsies to look good. It's kind of killing me that it's not perfect, but I also just want to make sure that you guys get the whole kind of experience here. There's one leg. That's a beefy leg, actually. I don't know if it should be that beefy. Freeform it. I'm just gonna grab some water. Oh, my cap fell off. Is that off the whole time? I don't think so. One never knows. I want this one to be behind it, and I'm going to just make it a little bit darker, actually. Maybe I'll just make the other one lighter. That's what I happen to have here. Okay. Those legs, I need to make that leg smaller. It's just so big. Should it be that big? I don't think it should be that big. I think it's the, like, this part. This part needs to be thinner. Like this, the actual leg, and not the foot. There we go. That's already better. Oi, Raven. What are you getting upset about? What are you getting feisty about? How is it that, and I think like they just know, pets in general just know, it's like, okay, she's going live, now's the time. I've got to get in her lap, I have to sit on her head, I have to bark like crazy. Like, never bark any other time, or very rarely. And then it's stream time, and they're like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to try this barking thing. I've heard good stuff. And I think I want to see where it goes, you know? Continue. Oh, did I do the wrong thing? Did I darker? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now. No, I didn't want to group. I just want to move it. Nope, I didn't want that. I don't like that when you move something to the bottom of a group, it like gets rid of it. Okay. So I want the feet to stay where they are and the body to move up. If that makes sense. So the feet are actually going to be like up inside here, not very far. And then what we're going to do is for this one, I'm going to move the body up a little bit. So you can like just see a little bit of the feet. Okay. Back up, kitty. I'm gonna protect myself against a cat. Probably made this too big, so it's probably gonna be like, you're out of layers soon. But essentially that's the case. So what I want to do too though is I don't want the same face. I want it to be a little bit bigger. I want this one essentially. So I'm just gonna copy it and then I'm gonna paste it. I have no idea. I can probably paste it in an easier way, but there we go. I do want to keep it still like in the same spot, if that makes sense. Right out there, but I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. So we've changed a couple of things here then. We've changed his facial features a little bit. We just kind of went back. So we are still going through that cycle of like 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, that kind of cycle. And now we're just adding in the feet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that again. I'm going to hide the old layer. I'm going to do the same thing. So we're going to grab the body. I'm going to bring him up a little bit more. And then I think I'm just going to leave the eyes like that. And then I'm just going to test it. So, share, animated GIF. Remember to make all of your layers seen every time. I'm going to forget that every time. Whoa, it's like hopping. So again, I want to see it fairly slowly. So it looks pretty good, actually. It kind of looks like he's like flopping back down again, which I don't hate. But it's a little bit like, okay, it's a little wonky, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna do another one. I want him to go a little bit higher up. So, and I guess here, I probably should have changed the eyes. Maybe I should have, I don't know. We'll see. If I need to change the eyes, I will, but I wanted to have it like a little bit longer there, so I'm going to change the eyes here. And honestly, I feel like it's just quicker to go duplicate and bring it up. But that might just be me, I don't know. I'm going to make this here, put this down here. I want it to line up again with these eyes because we're going to move it all as a unit. Okay, and I'm going to delete these, grab these, give myself some room here, and I'm going to bring them back up. Okay. This poor duck is kind of ridiculous, but I love it. And then I want to just double check my animated again. Oh, and I want to show all of them. Okay, I'm going to slow it down a little bit so I can make sure that I see each layer. I like the face. I think that looks okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, delete. I'm actually going to then start the process of going back again. So again, it's the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 process. So I'm going to duplicate this. Oh, and it's telling me I don't have enough layers, of course. I'm going to flatten this one. Hopefully that's okay. What am I doing? This one. I'm going to duplicate this. Actually, you know what? I don't want to duplicate that one or flatten that one. I want to duplicate one because this one would be the same thing. Okay, what if I just merge down on the faces? Because honestly, I think that's fine. Actually, I'll do it on. I'm going to do it on this one first and see if just that one layer is enough. Because if it is, that would be great. It is, woohoo! Okay, I'm going to show this one. I'm just going to merge it. I'm going to flatten it. And you can see we're starting the progression back down again. Gonna let me duplicate this one? Nope. I need to get more cheeks somewhere. Merge down. Where was I? This is the one I want. Duplicate. Thank you. Button. So weird. Okay. So this is our, I'm gonna rename this. This is our okay, wait. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna just rename them all. Slide it is. The more you get into, the more you do for an animation, the harder it gets to remember what you're doing. So it's probably a good idea to name them. Not gonna lie, I'm just gonna name them by what frame they would be. So this one is number 1, and that's the one that we want to get back to. So we're at 6 now. This one was number 5, and this one was number 4. So now we want to do 3, right? Because we're building that. So we're going to duplicate, bring it up, and I'm just going to flatten just because I am running out of layers. And then I'm going to duplicate, bring it back to the top. Now ideally, we should have the right amount to make this look somewhat cohesive. That looks like the weirdest thing whenever it's all open and all like that. So then we can kind of see, there it is. Okay. So the only way I know to make something kind of last a little bit longer is to just duplicate the, oh, of course it's not going to let me. Flatten this one will let me. Nope. Made the executive decision. So say I wanted this to be extra long. Really the only way I know how to do that is just to add another layer of the same layer that you want. Okay. And there we go. We make it a little bit slower because I feel like maybe his face, something is wrong with his face. So get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, maybe not. It just maybe I think went too fast. His face is like set at that like halfway mark quite a bit. I kind of like it. Let's speed it up a little bit. And then you can see, so because I did more of layer 1, there is more time spent with that layer because it's going through it 5 per second. So if you want that one to last for the second, you have to essentially like keep it going for that time. Does that make sense? I think you turned out pretty cute. What do you guys think? I kind of want to do another one. But I'm going to change. I'm going to do it just this canvas size. I want to make sure though. Nope, that's what I want. What do I want? What do I want about this? No, dimensions. Is that what I want? 300? I want to do it again, but I also want to make it good. We shall see. I kind of just want to do the head, but it would be weird without a body, so I am going to draw the body. Just kind of a loaf. Oh, that was too much. Apparently that's too much. There we go. We're getting kind of 2 in 1 here. Lineless as well as animation. I want to draw another duck. I'm going to set it here, but I'm going to make it so that it's like neck is the thing that's going to change. And what I'm going to do in this case, like the feet, we're going to make the longest part of it. So as long as his neck is going to be, that's as long as we want it to be. Did I do it on another layer? I did. Okay. Go like that, and we're going to warp it. I'm just going to, I use warp for almost everything. I want it to be a little bit more square. Okay, that's not bad. It's going to be a little bit longer than that, maybe. Let's go all the way there. Okay. Okay. Cute. I want to kind of make it a little bit more It's a little lopsided. So here we go. And I'm just going to outline it again because once you like use warp and stuff, especially with your lineless stuff, you kind of want to go around it a little bit more again just to give it that crisp outline, because you can see here where it like, the nice thing is when you use a textured brush like mine, it doesn't show it as much. I'm going to go down here and I want to make this a little bit bigger. That looks, I won't talk about it. Okay. And I'm going to do just a clipping mask here. Again, I just want to finish the neck of my duck. I'm going to try to not do the swirls because I know that they mean nothing. Just fill it in anyway. It's really hard to do. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. There we go. Kind of, sort of. Is it exactly what I want? No, but it'll do. Okay, so now we have a duck, right? That's a duck. I'm going to give my duck some eyeballs. And again, I'm going to do this on its own layer, because I think I might want to change it. I want it to be exactly the same. Merge down. I don't like that. There we go. I'm wondering something here, sorry. Do something quick. I want to make sure that I didn't know what we were going to do, so I didn't put it in the title of the video, so I'm like, maybe I should probably tell people what we're doing. That way, if they want to join in, they'll at least see what it is. We are animating ducks, in case anyone was wondering. Okay. Oh, he's got a teeny, tiny little nose. Little beak. Beak? Yes, beak. I know my animals. Maybe I don't, actually. I didn't know that that was a beak. Okay, that's cute. He's a little chonker. So then what I want to do in this case, I want the body in the front because it's going to hide everything else. And I want and actually it's probably easier to just, in this very first instance, I'm just moving the body down so that we can get a full view of the neck part. And I'm going to have to make that neck. That's my cat just knocking stuff off of my bedside table. You know, as cats do. And you can add more detail too, like if you want it to, I don't know, whatever you might want, you can add it in there. I want this to be straighter. This neck is not very straight. You just have to remember that the more detail you add, depending on what you're doing for the animation, the more animation you're going to have to add. So like if you want to put, say, give them a tail and you want that tail to move, then you also have to remember to do that on a different layer, which we can do. We can definitely make it that, and then that would have to move, right? If you want to give it like maybe some feathers up top, again, that would be something that could potentially move. So you may want it to be on its own layer. I want it below, but I don't want, I want it to be its own thing. Actually, you know what? Let's do instead. We're gonna make this kawaii, right? We gotta give him a little leaf. Oh, we don't want it to be. I don't want a clipping mask. I just want a little leaf. It looks like more of a stem kind of a thing. I don't want a clipping mask. What if I do it in a different green color? Here we go. I don't know if that helps. What if, okay, here we go. I've got an idea now. We do a stem and a leaf. Because he kind of reminds me of like some kind of fruit. And if we do them on different layers, then we can animate both if we really wanted to. But again, like I said, that's the thing to remember. You have to then animate both. So if you don't want to animate both, then it can be hard. Put that behind the stem, but not making it a cling. There we go. I kind of want, let me go here. Oh my gosh, I just want a little, like a little bloop. There we go. Write it down. Okay, so now we have multiple things that can be animated. Everything is on its own layer. It's all kind of where it needs to be. And then we're gonna go from there. So I want the face though here. So I want to keep these things together. I am going to merge that down because I don't need to worry about where it is now. I just want my duck to be a mallard. And I'm actually going to group this together, and this is going to be my final. So I'm going to leave this as is, and I'm going to do another one. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to hide the one on top because I'm going to work with this one. And I'm just going to bring it back down. So I guess I'm starting kind of backwards, like I'm going with the highest part first. And actually, before I do that, I just want to make sure that it's exactly the way I want it to be. So I just want it to be a little bit more in the middle. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so duplicate, I'm hiding it, and I'm bringing this one. So I want to grab the face and the neck, and I'm just going to start, oh, I forgot we also have a leaf. Everything that's attached to the head, I'm going to just move it down a little bit. And the reason I wanted to do, like I wanted everything to be lined up perfectly is because this way I know that I was actually, it was exact middle. So I know that if something happens that it goes off, unless I want that to go off, I leave it where it is. And I can use that as a guide. You can also put up guides too. I just like it to be easier than not. I'm also going to, I'm gonna come in here. I don't know that the thing would change much, but I'm just gonna move the leaf a little bit. And same with the tail. And these two things, actually, I don't know that I'm going to change anymore. It's just going to be back and forth, back and forth. So on the next one, I'm probably going to grab the original and just keep going back and forth type thing. Okay, We could also change the eyes, but I don't know about that. I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm going to duplicate, close this one. Excuse me, sorry. Just going to grab another drink. Okay, so this is where I said I was going to grab the original. And I'm just going to duplicate that. And I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to grab both and just move them with me. Move them on down. Plop them in there. Place. Now the leaf is in a different position, so I do want to move it down to where it was. And I'm going to move it here, but I am going to get rid of this one. Same with the tail. It's in a new position. So I just want to move it slightly down. I'm going to redo that. Actually going to lower the opacity of that one so that I can move it in the same spot. And I'm going to delete that one. And the whole time you can also make sure that you are, like, you can go back to the share as a animated GIF as many times as you want. Don't forget to change the layer though. As I said, I'm going to be messing that up a lot. But you can essentially, you can go back as much as you want. If you can imagine it in your mind, it's like if you can get to that point, I already know what this is going to look like, so I don't have to worry too much. But at the same time, you kind of want to make sure that you can see it. So I do want to go this. See, I said about this guide and then I realized that I didn't actually change it on this one, which is why I'm saying it's good to look. So I wanted that in the middle. Ooh, I don't want that. And you can see it. So if we actually, in this case, like sometimes you want to keep the layers open, because in this case you can actually see where you are. So I can see where I made my mistake by not putting it in the middle before. And then I want to bring it even lower. Okay. And then share, animated. Okay, that looks a little weird, but we can slow it down. And then I can see where I don't mind too much of the like bopping around because I want it to look a little bit more natural. And if you have any questions at any time, please do let me know. Okay, so that one's now. I didn't actually pay attention. What is the... I looked at only certain parts of it, so I want to see here how other parts look. Or if you can even notice them. Yeah, so you can notice the tail, but you really can't notice the leaf. So I don't know that I'm going to bother with the leaf. What you could do is like, when it gets to a static position, then kind of worry about the leaf. Maybe that's what I'll do instead. So I'm going to duplicate, I'm going to move to the bottom again. And I'm going to grab just the parts that are moving down. You can see where the very lowest is, so we want to keep it there. Okay. I will say too, like, sometimes you want to take it at very slow increments. Other times you want it to go faster. And when it's a little, like a little animation for, say, Instagram or something, you probably don't need to do like a crazy amount. You could probably do a few frames and then that would be all you need. We're gonna change it up a little bit here and do more than what we did before. And then we have to remember that we're gonna do, we still do the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 principle, or really it's more of like 1, 2, 3, 2, and then it'll go back to 1. So we have to remember to still do that as well. Now we're going to bring it down again just a little bit. I just want to move this tail a little bit more. Just kind of put it right back where it belongs. And then I don't know that I want to go any further than this last one here. I'm going off of the leaf in case if anyone's wondering like how, I'm just going off of the leaf. The tail, I'm just kind of guessing. I'm trying to remember which way I went. And it might be a complete and total wash and I just redo the tail again, which is fine. So I'll slow it down a bit, and you can see here I need to clean that up a little bit, but otherwise it doesn't look too bad. I actually don't mind the tail, it's kind of cute. I would have preferred a nicer kind of like gradual go, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to flatten this one only so I know that this is the end. So again, we're now working our way back through. So we're going to duplicate, and we're going to bring it down, and then we're going to duplicate and bring it to the bottom. The exact same thing that we did before, just instead of working from the bottom up, we're working from the top up. Or well, the top down, I should say, sorry. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so I want this one. All the way to the bottom. Come on. Wow. Did it just duplicate? I think okay, it didn't do anything. I hope it didn't do anything. We'll find out. Maybe I'll do it quick here. Animated GIF, as long as it's... No, yeah, it looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 2 more left here, so duplicate. Bottom. Duplicate. Actually, we don't want to duplicate that one. I don't believe, right? Yeah, no, we're good. That's going to be the same, so animated GIF. There we go, his head is like very... I thought this was going to be cute. Turns out it's a little on the creep side. I need to fix up some of the layers here too. Only because you can see it's like his belly in some of these, like here. I apparently didn't do a very good oval. Like that, but it's fine. It kind of reminds me of like bobbing for apples. So then, like I was saying, I'm just gonna duplicate this one, and I'm going to merge all of it except for the eyes. So I guess not all of it because the eyes are in between these two. but I'm just going to do that, and then change the face. And that's the only thing that I'm going to change. So I'm just going to give it some squintier eyes. Am I going to squint it? No, you know what I want to do? I want to make it be like, no. Because even it knows that this is wrong. It's like, I don't know about this. And one way that I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of on the same is you can just lower the opacity. Perfect. Okay, there's one. I'm going to duplicate. And in this one, I'm actually, oh wait, you know what? I don't want that one. I want to duplicate this one because I'm going back to center. So I'm doing again the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. That's my 3. I'm not going any further than that. I'm going to merge this stuff, make it so that this is a little bit more see-through. And I'm going to, wait a minute here. Did I do this right? Oh, yeah. Sorry. So this one we've moved. This one is the same. This one's back to the center. And then I'm just going to duplicate this one again. And then move the face to the opposite way. That way. And then because this one is our control, I'm going to move it back. So I don't know what this will do actually, because I think we're at the lowest part. In my head, I think I know what it's going to do. What it actually does is another story. Oh, I forgot something. I must have like knocked out something here. Oh, there we go. Now let's try it. It's funny because in this version, if you slow it down, it's like disapproving of what I've done, which rightly so. But if you don't and you speed it up, it's kind of nervous. He's like, I think I like the disapproving though. No. Again, I'd probably speed it up a little bit. There we go. So when it comes to like more complex, a lot of times what you're going to do is essentially redraw the whole next layer. So what's something that we could do? We've already done so many here. Let me do this. And a lot of times you're going to work backwards. So I'm going to draw an egg. I'm apparently not going to draw it. You know what? Why am I doing? I'm trying to be something I'm not. What I am is a person that draws from circles. So let's just go from there, do my usual. There we go. And then there we go. Okay, egg enough. And I'm gonna do a clipping mask because I'm gonna draw a mallard's egg, which is probably not how a mallard egg looks. In fact, I know it's not. That's okay. which is what I wanted to do. Like that. Again, I don't know why I put a little loop in things when I know that that's just not the way it's going to be. I kind of want this to be a little bit more fancy. Whoosh. Am I getting carried away here? Probably. Do I need all of that? Probably not. I just kind of want to do it. There we go. There we go. Okay. Everybody still good? I'm not doing much of anything right now, so not too exciting. But now we're just going to animate it. So I'm going to group it. I first want it to, do a little shaky. A little shake. Maybe a little bit more of that. No, that's probably good. I'm going to duplicate it again, bring it back. And take it back the other way. And then I'm going to, oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. These two should be the same, yes. I need to then duplicate that one and take it back the other way. And then duplicate that one again, bring it back to center. And I want it to crack a little. Clipping mask, please. Not too much. That might be too much. Crack. Pencil tip, like my pink pencil tip. Somebody just asked me this today. I don't actually know. I just bought a thing of pink ones. I don't know what it says here. Tucana pen tips. Apparently it's second generation, but my pencil is first, I think. Well, maybe it's second. I don't know. I thought it was first. Wait, it does say here. Nope, it just says pencil. I just literally did Amazon pink Apple pencil tips is probably what I put in. Maybe Apple pencil tips pink, but actually I have no idea. Like, for me, they are fine. They do what they need to do. The only thing I will say is when you first get them on, I find that until they get like in there and they're good, it can take some time, and they'll like just slowly, like I'll be drawing something and it'll just slowly kind of turn off. So I just tighten it again and then it's fine. Then it's good to go. Okay. So then I'm going to duplicate that. I'm just going to continually, essentially, work down this crack. And I'm just going to go all the way across. Duplicate. Oops. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know if this is a good tip or a bad tip. It does the job for me, and it's pink, so I like it. I really don't have like one way or the other feelings about anything. As long as it's cheap, I'm happy. Like, although I did want pink ones, like I wasn't paying a huge amount of money for pink ones. If there was, you know, no pink ones and they were all super expensive, then I would have just gotten the regular ones. That would have been fine. Okay. So in this case, it's not something that's going to loop around because you can't like unhatch a chicken, or in this case, a duck. So we'll see if if what I did made sense, then it works. So it just kind of goes back to the way it was. You can speed it up. You can also slow it down. I kind of like the slower for the rocking and the faster for the regular. So what you can do there is just duplicate each layer here to make these ones faster. I think this is the last one, or slower, I mean. So do that and then go animate. You can see the little wiggle takes longer than the actual crack. Does that make sense? And then you can continue on with this, and when you crack it, it could pop off, it could come, you know, and then a little chick could come out, or what have you, right? So once you've gotten to that part, here, we'll duplicate again. I gotta kind of see here, so I'm going to merge these down. At this point, we need this, and I'm going to freehand just cut it. I'm trying to do a good job of it. I don't make any guarantees. And cut and copy. I want this. Yeah, that's fine. It's going to look a little rough, so I am going to clean it up. Okay. Here's where you have to make some bigger adjustments than you really kind of meant to. I'm actually going to, just because I don't want to be able to see everything underneath, I'm going to get rid of everything. Animation, I don't know if this is something I would use for animation, honestly. Like small projects make sense, sure. But the bigger stuff, it could be hard. Like, you would probably end up having to do several files of this, because you would have to continually, like, continually merge layers, but then you don't want to merge layers, and you'd continually have to, like, save a new one so that you can preserve those layers, so then you can merge, so then you can add more. Like, it would be a continuous cycle of craziness. So I think for quick things, this is fine. But if you really want to get into animation, this is probably not going to be your end game. Maybe it will, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you just have to, like, export all of your images out of Procreate. Like, I don't know, probably daily, I would think. Or get a really big, I guess, if you had a really good iPad. I do not have such a thing. But if you had one, that would probably help too. Oh, yeah, I did. Dang it. I nicked a little bit of the green that I didn't want to nick. So now this one I know I kind of have to clean up a little bit because it's a little crazy. And don't want this. It's like, should go down a little bit, I guess, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's like the next step then would be, I'm going to raise this up and put a little chicken in there. And by chicken, I mean duck. It's going to be a duck. I don't know apparently the difference between ducks and chickens, but that's okay. I want this outline to be a little bit nicer, a little bit straighter, cleaner, what have you. And hello to anyone else who has joined. We are just doing some animation today, or at least attempting. So I'm going to raise that up quite a bit on the first one, just because I don't want it to take forever for the animation to go through. Clipping mask. And it's going to be behind. So I'm going to give it maybe a different, well, no, I'll do the same color. In this case, we're really not going to see much of it, so I'm just going to start like that. That works for me. We're really not going to see what it is yet. Okay, and then as always, we're just going to continue on. I'm just going to show all of these so that I don't forget to show them later. And that's what I do. So then we're going to raise this a little bit more. And then increase this a little bit more. Maybe I'll do it a little bit more than that even. Oops, wrong side. I'm not getting too excited here. I'm going a little nuts, really. Why is this not covering? There, a little something, something there. Nope. There we go. Because I haven't drawn the whole thing yet, so that's fine. Duplicate. And we're just going to bring it back up. And I think actually now this will be it. So this will be the end of it. We'll see the end result. And again, I'm not super like that line was huge, but I'm just going to bring it all the way up. And then here, I'll even give it a base. And I don't know if you'll even see, yeah, you won't even see part of it, which honestly, I think that just makes it cuter. Give it a little nose, and by nose, I mean beak. And there we go. Here we go. That's the whole thing. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Shaking. It's cracking. It popped out. Perfect. So what you can do then to take that another step forward, I'm just going to flatten this because we are going to get to the point where we have none left. We're going to do, again, the same principle of the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to duplicate this, bring it forward, and duplicate this, bring it forward. And these ones you can also flatten. We don't really need to worry about them. And flatten. And you can go as far as you like. You could take the crack away even if you really wanted to. I'm just going to flatten all of these because I'm not able to really see. There's not much more animation I'm going to be doing with it anyway. In fact, there's no more animation that I'm going to do with it. So I am fine with that. Flatten and flatten. Okay, so we're essentially just copying and pasting the same thing up and there. And then we're on this one. There. On this one. Take it to the top. This one, take it to the top. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Again, I'm going to slow it a little bit. I don't know if I want to. There we go. There we go. Not too bad. I will say, I think I need to fix his nose. And by nose, I mean, oh my god, beak. I think it just needs to be a little bit lighter because you can't really see it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Instead, I guess I will just do it myself. And do a quick, not quite the right color. There we go. There you go. You can see that better. And again, this one is one where you could like the ones where it's at the height too. The height of like your 1, 2, 3. You could increase by just adding more to it. And it does, you know, sometimes it makes a big difference. So in this case, I don't think we want 3, maybe 7. There we go. So it does its little jiggle, open, close. There we go. I used to do this with pixels all the time, which was a lot of fun as well. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I can really show. Does anyone have anything that you would like to animate and want to kind of see it? Or what you would do? It's all pretty much the same principle, like the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 kind of scenario. But like, if there's something that you would like to animate and would like to like see how I would do it, like even if it's just something like a nose or whatever, feel free to let me know, and we can try our best to do it. I'm gonna take a drink. Make sure you've been drinking. I'm gonna say silent is gold, or king, or key. I don't know the saying. But I'm going by the fact that you guys aren't saying anything, that maybe you're either, you know, elbow deep in your animation and you just want me to be quiet, or we're good to go. Let's see here. I'm gonna do like a quick. What can we do quick? Let's see what I've got. And then of course, actually I didn't show that part. Once you've got the frame rate that you want, let's say you want a little bit slower, you would just export. And then save or whatever you want to do. I'm not going to export because I do want to make sure that whenever I do my animated GIF that I make it a transparent background. Really? What can we do kind of quick? I don't have a lot. What do we got going on here? Do I have any layers? Some of these are like, do I have layers that I could do anything with? This one's got layers. This one's got layers. Let's duplicate this. I always like, actually, you know what? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where are they? Right here. Is this one? Okay. So this is the animation that I did for my Patreons. For my Patreon site. And you can see he's just a blinking. But it would be cute if we could change his little leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select and I'm going to duplicate and see if we can do that. So it's kind of like isolating this one part in each. And I'm going to kind of make it, I don't know, we'll see. Let's see what I can do. I'm going to just warp it a bit. I think I'm just going to warp like every little bit. I want to make sure that I can. Don't want to see any of the others though. As I'm warping. Maybe I'll just like every other one then I'll just leave it because it'll like go back to the way it was. Ooh, but I want to keep it on the stem. So I've done it there, and then I'll leave this one, and then I'll change this one. And it's going to be, really it's going to be about me remembering what I've done, which way I've gone. But also, like, if it's random, as long as we can end on one that is not changed, then it should work out pretty good. Don't leave your stem. That one we won't change, this one we will. This one we will, and this one we won't. So actually that will work out well. So then in addition to the eyes moving, this will also move pretty well. Nope. Oh, well. And I don't want huge changes. We're leaving that one alone, and we're changing this one. We could even actually do the same for the crown. We'll see where we are. Now we gotta go back to adding them all in. Animated GIF. And I'm just going to slow it down a little bit, and you can see, actually that's really cute. So it's like independent of. And another thing you could do is instead of changing it like every other one, I could have done every third or something. You know what I mean? I want to slow it down just a little bit. Like I like this at level 4. I like this at level whatever. So what I might do even are the ones that I know I changed. I can't do anything now though. If I'd started this, I could have just duplicated the little leaf, and then the eyes would have been fine. Though I can still, like, you can make that adjustment here so that it does work for both. Like 15 is too much. 9 is not bad. 7 is probably as low as I would be willing to go. But you can see it just kind of moves, like there's no real rhyme or reason. And as long as it goes back to that first, its initial stage, it looks a lot more natural than if you just randomly have it go through. Let's try with the little crown too. Okay, on these ones, so let's do the opposite of this one for the crown. So I gotta remember now. This one I've got to remember, or else I'm gonna do it wrong. So this one I'm gonna move up a little bit. Up, stays. This one is gonna go down a little bit. Okay, and then we're back to our normal. This one's gonna go up. Back to normal. This one's gonna go down. Back to normal. This one's gonna go up. And I can't remember what I started with, so if that one go up. If that one went up, then I'm probably gonna leave this. I can't tell. Okay, this one went up. Okay, yeah, it went up already, so I want to leave it. At least until I see the animation. Okay. So then on top of that, it's doing its little thing too. And I like that it actually has like a little spot where it just stops for a bit, like it's not continually going. But you can change that as well if you want to. And where was I? So then this one would go up. Nope, I think I got some of the bear. And then again. Oh, see, now something went wrong there. I think because I've got 2 ups in a row, so it just didn't quite know what to do. But it's kind of fun to have a little bit of something that doesn't seem completely fluid, you know what I mean? And then if I had it so that I didn't have it, unfortunately, I think I've got its ears. But you could have also, we could have also moved the ears independently as well. And I think that if I was going to, if I'm going to animate all of this, I think doing the ears would be good. And also even bringing up the mouth a little bit would be a good idea. You can see, as you start, the more you animate, the more you kind of need to, because it looks weird that everything is moving except for his ears or his nose or his mouth, things like that. Whereas before it was like just his eyes and he was fine. In this case, it looks a little weird. But yeah, that's pretty much animation in a nutshell. It's not, once you break it down, it's actually not that hard at all. It's all about just keeping track of what you've done, really, and knowing in your brain what you've done and then being able to picture it. And if you can't picture it, then remember to make every change part of like every part of your animation change. Make sure that you just double check it by doing the share animated GIF so that you can like make sure that what you're picturing in your mind is coming through on the canvas. That makes sense. And that's pretty much it, guys. We're about 10 minutes before our 2-hour mark. So if anyone has any questions, I can answer them or do my best to answer. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. For those that are just catching me now, sorry, we are almost done, but we were learning how to animate. So if you have any questions about animating in Procreate, now is the time. Anybody? Okay. Well, then I think we're going to call it there, guys. I hope that you guys had fun and you learned how to animate and it made sense, I guess. Tomorrow I have a video coming out about expressions and like different kawaii, you know, simplistic faces, which I think will be a lot of fun. As well as with that, of course, I did a, not of course, but I do a lot of these little like worksheets. So you can download that if you're one of my patrons. And you can join my Patreon for $5 a month. Right now, that's all I'm doing, just due to some things that I don't need to talk about because nobody needs to know everything that's going on in everyone's life. And I also don't want to talk about it, which is totally valid. It's a totally valid reason to not talk about something. So right now, just one tier, $5. If you like, you can get for $5. I do a tutorial a month, and then I do different like behind the scenes. I do different, all kinds of stuff, really. I say that it's like one download a month, but it's really like a bunch. And yeah, so there's that. It's $5 a month. So if you are interested, you can do that. Link is in the description. I don't know what I can do. What can I do? I'll see what I can come up with to try and make it a little bit like give like a reference sheet or something for animating. Tomorrow for my emotions or my expressions video, I do have a little chart and a little follow along, etc., etc. I don't know what I could do for animation, but I will do my best. For those who are like, hey, where is your cat dice game? I literally just finished it. I'm sorry, some things came up. But I did just finish it. We did that on stream a couple of Saturdays ago, I think, guys. And so I have that up and I will get it. It's just for people who are on my newsletter. So if you want to join that, you can do that at Doodles with Pinkee. And I will be sending that along shortly, post haste, to those who are currently on my newsletter. And I think that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys all have a really great night. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vicky and Tammy. Tammy. You're amazing. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you and your son enjoyed this one if he's still awake. I know it's super late there. But yeah, I hope that was a fun one for you guys. And I always have fun doing these lives. I hope you guys do too. I will see you in the next one. But until then, keep doodling. Bye, guys.